The problem with Muay Thai and MMA. Let's check it out.
When I say the words Muay Thai, what do you think of? The
Elbows.
powerful leg kicks, the
Nah.
elbows and the knees,
Yeah, there it
the
is.
clinch work and the sweeps?
Yeah, that.
Well,
That too.
I think of when you accidentally kick someone's elbow in sparring and then can't walk right for a couple of days. And that leads me perfectly into the topic of today's video. It's pretty clear that the most important striking art that you need to have an understanding of in the sport of MMA is Muay Thai. Boxing is very limited. You can only use your hands. Kickboxing is also pretty limited. You can only use your hands, your legs, and your knees if you're fighting professionally.
I was about to say, can you use elbows in can you use elbows in MMA?
But Muay Thai encompasses all aspects of striking.
But the only issue I would say with this is the ground game. You don't practice ground game in Muay Thai. It's just standing. That's about it. In clinches. That's it.
Hands, legs, knees,
In a whole sport full of people with Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai will only get you so far.
elbows, clinch, sweeps. The standard Muay Thai stance is standing tall,
Yep.
hands right above your eyebrows.
Yep.
Lead leg is very light, even bouncing, and
Yep.
you stand square to your opponent.
Yep.
But despite
It's an
Muay Thai being the
honest
best
martial
striking
arts.
art, you don't really see that stance used in MMA.
Yeah, because
And also,
there's so many different ways to get takedown and shit like that whenever you have your like leading leg and all that stuff, right?
we've had lifelong wrestlers transition to MMA, lifelong jiu-jitsu practitioners, lifelong kickboxers, and they've all had a lot of success. But in Thailand, kids at the age of 5
Yes.
get sent off to Thai
Yes.
camps
They
to train
young.
Muay
They
Thai
young.
and be the breadwinners for the family.
Sometimes 4,
With that being
sometimes
such a
3.
common
Yeah,
practice,
young
how
as
come
hell.
we've never seen one of these lifelong Thai fighters make the transition to the UFC? Well, we're going to explore all those questions together. The last few years, we've seen a huge rise in the amount of calf kicks. It is a devastating attack that does not take many clean kicks to finish a person with. Now, you'd think that standard Muay Thai stance that I described is the perfect antidote for that attack. And it pretty much is. But there's a reason why fighters don't use it. Do you guys remember when Khalil Roundtree Jr. fought Eric Anders at UFC 236?
No.
Khalil Roundtree came out in that fight with a textbook Muay Thai style and
Okay.
completely ate Eric Anders alive.
Sounds
Everybody
good.
who watched that fight immediately after was like, wow, you cannot stand with that guy. His Muay Thai was too good. But what happened in his very next fight? He fought a very good grappler who immediately took him down.
There it is. There it is. That's the weakness, man. Grapples.
Smashed his face with
There it
elbows and got
is.
a pretty early stoppage.
Damn.
You see,
That does
in
not look
order to
good.
complete a takedown, you need to get underneath the hips of your opponent. That is why wrestlers stand really low to the ground
Yeah.
to make this really difficult to do. When you're fighting in a Muay Thai stance, standing straight up,
Yep.
you're basically asking for someone to dive onto your legs.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because whenever you're doing Muay Thai, it's Muay Thai versus Muay Thai. So you don't think about somebody trying to get beneath you and like take you to the ground.
Ever since that fight, Khalil has needed to mix his Muay Thai in with a more
course,
standard
yes.
MMA stance.
Yes.
A heavier,
Yes.
more planted
Yes.
base to defend the wrestling. But what if a fighter, hypothetically, didn't need to worry about the takedowns? Could they then use the more standard Muay Thai stance to their advantage?
Honestly, I don't. I mean, honestly, it always, of course, depends on the fighters. But like Muay Thai versus a whole bunch of other standing martial arts, it's definitely interesting. Like you say, like boxing is limited because you can't do elbows and stuff like that. But boxing, they're way faster. They're moving around way more than just the standard Muay Thai fight. I live here in Thailand. I've seen a couple fights. They're not moving around like that. They're literally standing like close to each other. They might be like moving around a bit and like hitting at each other and kicking, of course, with their reach with their legs. But boxing, they move way more. So I don't know. I honestly, I think it'd be an interesting idea and an interesting thing to see. Like back when UFC first started, or I believe it was I don't know if it was UFC or something else, but like the first like actual fighting, professional fighting, and it was like different people with different styles. It wasn't no MMA. There was no mixing of martial arts. It was just hey, karate. One guy knew boxing, one guy knew this, one guy knew judo, and they just went at it. So to have something like that, I don't even think is a thing anymore. Not many people really train only one thing. Even here in Thailand, like people train Muay Thai, of course, but most people usually after they learn Muay Thai, they go learn something else. It's not just Muay Thai purely, unless they want to do Muay Thai. Then yeah, then. But I mean, that's just Muay Thai versus Muay Thai. So I don't know. It doesn't really count when it comes to like uh, world fighting, like, oh, what's the best? It's just good at one thing, which is, of course, Muay Thai.
Well, a certain someone does. Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira is so skilled off his back that he doesn't care about being taken down. In
Mhm.
fact, most of his opponents don't want to take him to the ground.
Really?
Against Islam Makhachev, Charles did switch his style to be a bit more wrestling defensive, but in
Mhm.
almost all his other fights, he uses a textbook Muay Thai style. Standing tall, being light on that front leg, using it to
The
teep and
teeth.
hide
Yep.
kicks behind it. Against Justin Gaethje, who was seen as the way better striker going into that matchup,
Okay.
could not land any calf kicks. And because of that, really struggled getting his game going. Got dropped on the feet and then finished. The
Yeah.
only issue is not a lot of people can use that style and be effective. Unless you're someone with the skill level on the ground as Charles Oliveira who does not worry about getting taken down,
Mhm.
you can't use that same stance. Against a talented wrestler, you're going to be on your back every single time trying to do that. And that's one of the very few holes the Muay Thai style has. Unfortunately, though, it's a pretty big one. On the feet, it's extremely
Yeah,
difficult to
on the
deal
feet.
with. In
Yeah.
the clinch, it's going to be a nightmare fighting a talented Thai fighter.
Mhm.
The elbows in short, the knees to the
The
body,
knees,
the
yeah.
foot sweeps.
Yep.
You have so much to worry about. Yet, all of that is neutralized if the stance doesn't allow you to defend takedowns well. Another issue worth bringing up.
Well, that's why you would normally try and in MMA anyways, if you knew Muay Thai and you knew something else, you would try and use different types of styles in your fighting. You wouldn't just be purely one martial art, especially nowadays. If you're going to be getting in the cage with people that know like BJJ and judo and all this other stuff and like Shotokan karate, you're probably not going to just use, one style unless you think you're really going to just dominate this one guy just by striking. I mean, you're usually going to try and have some different type of stance, not just Muay Thai. You're probably going to go boxing, maybe something else, maybe lower to the ground like wrestling. I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, of course, I would say like Muay Thai is one of the best martial arts for like self defense because you're striking. Like for self defense, I wouldn't say BJJ is great because if you're trying to grab somebody and you're like trying to put them in a guard or whatever, and you're on the ground and you're trying to choke them out, like yeah, sure, you might have choked them out, but bro, you're on the ground, you're scratching up your back. If they're drunk, you're probably gonna like end up either like that person's fighting for their life. You're just trying to choke them out, but they're fucking crazy, right? But Muay Thai, you just fucking hit them with an elbow a couple times, maybe punch them in the forehead, knock them out. It's great for self defense whenever you're trying to just knock people out. But for MMA, when you're fighting against somebody else that also knows how to fight, I don't think it's perfect. I don't think it covers everything. I mean, we already talked about earlier how you get destroyed in grappling if you only know Muay Thai. So, yeah.
Though, is the Thai fighters' lack of boxing. Edson Barbosa might have the best Muay Thai we have ever seen in the UFC. And he absolutely brutalized some people with his insane kicks. His leg kicks and his switch kick to the body. So fast, no telegraph, and so much power. Absolutely bone-chillingly scary to have to fight somebody like that. Not to mention the way he mixed in
Good grapple. Oh,
Taekwondo with some
shit.
of those spinning wheel kicks. But you
But
know
yeah,
what
he's
his
mixing
issue
martial
was?
arts.
His kicks were a lot better than his hands.
Okay.
So what people started realizing, if you pressure him, put him on the back foot, it makes it really hard to kick.
Yeah.
And his hands were not at the same level as his kicks. So put him on the back foot, and all of a sudden, you can find your openings in the striking. This is how Justin Gaethje knocked him out. This is how Khabib really neutralized his striking. And I mean, to be fair, Khabib was also just the fucking
Khabib's a
Terminator in that
monster,
fight.
bro.
This is an issue that plagues a lot of Thai fighters. They simply don't work on boxing that frequently. And that's why I think we've seen kickboxers have more success in MMA so far. But luckily, this issue has a pretty simple fix. Work on your boxing. With all this being said, there is a glaring question. Israel Adesanya started kickboxing at the age of 18. Had a lengthy kickboxing career before starting MMA and is now considered one of the greatest middleweights of all time. Where are the Thai fighters who grew up in a Thai gym at the age of 5, are masters at Muay Thai, and then at 18, 19, 20 started training MMA?
I think it's also like it's the opportunity, right? Like when you're in Thailand and the heart of the country is Muay Thai, right? That's normally everything they do. And they train hard, they work hard, they fight hard, right? But they don't really go take those opportunities. At least I don't. Maybe they don't get. I'm sure they get the opportunity, right? If you're a great fighter and you winning championships here in Thailand, I'm sure you've gotten some, at least one or two opportunities to show your skill in like the octagon, any octagon. Not saying the UFC, but any octagon. But I don't know. Like when you walk into the octagon, MMA, anything like it's different. There's guards, there's jujitsu, there's judo, there's all this other stuff. It's not just straight up boxing and like or Muay Thai, sorry, like straight up Muay Thai. And like I said earlier, when Muay Thai fighters fight, they usually fight like head on, face to face. They're not like always moving around super quickly like in traditional boxing. So it's kind of like a tit for tat type of thing. Sometimes when you watch a Muay Thai fight, you'll see one guy get punched or get a leg kick, and the other guy takes it, and then he gives the other guy a leg kick, and it's like a pissing contest. Who's stronger, who's tougher. But whenever you get into like the octagon, bro, they're just trying to win. So they're trying to submit you. They're trying to take you down. They're not trying to necessarily show like how tough they are.
You'd think on paper these guys would absolutely run train on the entire UFC. Where are they? The issue, it's not a practical one, it's a cultural one. You see, in Thailand, fighting Muay Thai is seen as an honorable, respectable practice. To them, they are representing their country, their heritage, their culture. But the prospect of moving to a completely different art of fighting like MMA, it's not something many of them are interested in.
Yeah, it's not a passion.
The fact of the matter is, MMA has not been popular in Thailand.
Yes,
another big reason is Thai fighters fight a lot.
Yes, they do.
Some of them fight every single weekend, which is a huge difference between fighting here or boxing.
Yeah, and like in the UFC, it's like what you get a couple months to train for a fight, and like a MMA fighter or UFC fighter throughout their whole career will go like 13 fights or something like that in the span of like 5 years, or probably even longer than 5 years. Get like 13 fights, 8 fights, something like that. Traditional boxing, by the time they hit the same amount, they're getting hundreds of fights in. Same thing with Muay Thai. They're getting a lot of fights in. So, fighting is cool. We all love fighting. Well, if you're watching this, you probably like fight or you're interested in it, right? Fighting does take a toll on the body. It might not look like it, but getting all those head shots, elbow shots to the face, that will wear your body down. So it's definitely not a longevity type of sport, even though it looks fucking cool and fun. The longer you do it, the bigger the chance of you like not getting back into the ring after that fight. So it kind of makes sense.
MMA fighters at most they'll fight 3 to 4 times a year. Because of this, it's rare to see a Thai fighter fight much longer past the age of 30. A lot of these guys need to retire young because of the damage to their bodies. With this all being said, though, in recent years, one championship has been a bridge between Muay Thai and MMA. Their events mix kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA all on one card. Their Muay Thai fights are done in 4-ounce gloves. We've seen some hybrid MMA Muay Thai fights like Tang versus Demetrius Johnson. And in one championship, we've even seen a lifelong Thai fighter fight in MMA. Yod Kaiju. This guy right here, they call him Y2K, and he's a beast. Just looking at his record, you can definitely see he struggled when it comes to the other aspects of MMA, like the grappling, for example. But he shows
That looks like an okay record. Uh, I mean, it's not perfect, but let's be honest, man. Not every record is going to be perfect. So 7-5, okay, that's still pretty decent.
other
It's a
aspects of
winning. It's
MMA,
a
like
winning
the
record.
grappling, for example, but he shows why Muay Thai is such a deadly striking art. The speed and ferocity of this guy's kicks in his MMA fights are insane. And as long as one championship keeps putting on these events, I think we're only gonna see more integration from Thai fighters to MMA.
100%. I think so as well. I actually saw they did have a one championship tournament coming out in Bangkok, but I was busy working, so I didn't get to go watch it. But yeah, just like seeing that, I was like, oh, that's cool. They're having like MMA type of like tournaments here in Thailand. So like the more people that see that, and especially if they see the money, they're probably going to be more interested in doing it. But yeah, it's honestly like Muay Thai in itself is like the pride of the country. Like if you just hear about how Muay Thai started, you're just like, holy shit. And it just makes you like, it inspires you to want to train as hard as the guy that, helped create the art of Muay Thai.
And once we see one of them truly master all the other aspects of mixed martial arts, they are going to be a serious, serious problem.
Yeah. Uh, like I agree with this video. I like how he also brought up the culture. That is 100% true. Like the culture part is real, man. But it's also interesting in the fact that a lot of Thai people here, at least in Chiang Mai, they aren't really too. I wouldn't say they're too I wouldn't say they're disinterested in Muay Thai. Like even when I went down the Krabi, I was like, oh, is there any Muay Thai? Like there are Muay Thai gyms, but it's like a lot of the locals. They're like, oh, I mean, yeah, it's a thing, but not many people do it. Like when I came to Thailand, I would expect a lot more fighting. I would expect a fighting culture, and they do have a fighting culture here, but I would expect it to be like more prevalent. From what I've seen, it's around. Like it is around. Like you could just walk down the street and see a Thai gym, but the thing is, it's not always going to be full of people or open or anything like that. So I see more. I see more foreigners go to the Muay Thai gyms than locals. Like, but that could be like the locals. They could go to like a gym like in the mountains somewhere, honestly. And I'm not just saying that like crazy. Like they could literally like be in the mountains, like training and stuff like that. But down here, like at the base of the mountain around Chiang Mai, there's gyms. But I see more foreigners than anything. They always have a fight. Pretty frequently. I want to say every weekend they have fights, and it's usually like foreigner fights. So foreigners will fight other foreigners, or foreigners will fight some Thai people here, and you just get to watch and have fun. It's an enjoyable thing. And it's definitely something I would love to see more of, just like around the world, like just like see more fighting culture personally. But yeah, I don't really see them going into MMA unless it becomes like super big here on top of Muay Thai. Like we have Muay Thai, traditional, the art and stuff like that. And then you also have like, hey, here's MMA for fighters that also want to make even more money, because they do make good money in Muay Thai, but they do so many fights. Like I said, it wears down on the body. They make decent enough money, but they don't make enough money unless they're like champions like Bull Cow and stuff, and other fighters like him. So yeah, I would love to see more MMA, more ability for them to get more money, and more of a universal fighting culture, not just Muay Thai. Like I'd love to see like a judo class or a BJJ class here in Thailand. I think that would be so dope. I'm sure there are BJJ classes, but it's not prevalent like it is with Muay Thai. But of course, I mean, it's the heart of Thailand, stuff like that. But this is a great video. MMA Shi. This is a dope video. I hit it with a sub too, because I thought this was a great video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.